Hi, my name is Riley Ensley, and this is my video presentation for the collage assignment. So I think I'm just going to do it by going through each picture and kind of explaining why I chose that picture, why it is important to me, and kind of just my thoughts on it. So let's get started. So the first two photos that I want to talk about kind of go together, and these are explaining gender equality, kind of going against the norms of how your gender should be represented, the gender you identify as. And so the first photo is a woman showing her armpits in the photo, showing that she doesn't shave them, which for women for generations, shaving your armpits has been a norm, and it's just kind of something you do. We don't really know why, it's just like you do it, and that's how it is. You're raised to do that. And I just think in today's day and age, it's becoming a lot more common to go against that norms and to go against those norms. And I just think it's awesome that people are not just going by norms anymore, they're going outside the box. And the other photo is actually a picture of Harry Styles wearing a dress, which is just the same thing. You know, guys aren't supposed to wear dresses. Like, they're not supposed to, it's a norm, they can't do that. But we today are just so much more progressive in these categories than we used to be, so that is why I chose those photos. Alright, the next photo I want to talk about kind of goes along with the last one in gender equality, and it is a photo of a man wearing a stethoscope. Is that what it's called? I don't know. You'll see the photo, but around his neck, representing that he is a doctor, and the woman wearing a nurse's hat representing that she is a nurse. And this is just showing that those are the jobs in a hospital that a female and a male should have, supposedly. And I thought it would be important to include this image because I think that in the workplace, sexism is still today so present. And not just in hospitals, you know, teachers, lawyers, you name it, there's probably a stereotype of who should be working that job. And I just think this is something that is so important that we improve on. And the wage gap also, just people, females and males working the same job for the male to make more money is just still so present in today. And so that's why I included that image. Alright, the next few photos I'm going to be talking about go along with the LGBTQ plus movement, and I'm going to just kind of talk about them all together. So the first one I have here is a picture of a man laying on the ground with a pride flag around him. This is probably a pretty controversial image here, but there are three men with Bibles beating him with the Bibles, and I'm not saying all churches are like this, but a lot of churches, if you are a part of the LGBTQ plus community, you are not accepted there. And I just think that is so wrong, that because the way you are born, you can't be a part of a church. It just is absolutely crazy to me, and that is just something that I think needs to be swept away altogether. And then next image, I have a picture of all of the sexuality flags, and it just says equality across the front. And I just included this to show that, you know, love is love. People can identify however they want, and I believe there is absolutely no issue with that. So that's why I included that one. And I think that's the only images I had for the LGBTQ movement, so we'll move on to the next one. Okay, the next couple images I have here are talking about or demonstrating gender. So the first one I have is a boy holding up a dress, kind of looking at it like that's who he wants to be, that's who he should be, and he can't do that maybe because of society, media. He thinks that that's just, he's supposed to be a male and he can't change that, or just hasn't worked up the courage to yet. The next photo I have is a picture of 6 different people, all looking different and with all different pronouns, just showing they are all human. Everybody is equal. Their pronouns, regardless, gender, race, doesn't matter. All are just people standing and uniting with each other. Okay, I have a couple images here in regards to sex. So the first one I have, you may have seen those photos of birds like holding a bag with the gender on it when a baby is born, with the color pink or blue to represent you know, the biological sex of that baby. In this image is a flamingo with a little, holding a bag with a pride flag on it, just representing that we shouldn't put those stereotypes on a baby before they are even born. And then the other photo I have here is the meter that is used to measure basically whether a baby is going to be classified as a female or a male, and if it is over a certain amount, then they will choose the sex of that baby. And I just think this is so wrong. I believe that this should be illegal, and that parents and doctors should not be able to determine this, and they should wait for the child to grow up and be able to choose this for themselves. Okay, and lastly, the last category I have to talk about, I have 3 images for, and this is feminism. The first image I have is kind of going off of the Rosie the Riveter photo in the first wave of feminism, and it has a male in the photo with 2 females. And I just think this is so important that people know that for feminism, it's not only for women. We need male allies in order to make progress. And then the second photo I have is just the female symbol with waves in the background showing the waves of feminism. And I put this just to demonstrate I still think there's a long way to go. I don't think this is the last wave of feminism, and I just think there is still a lot of progress to be made. And those are all of the images that I chose and why I chose them. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed my project.